It's time. It's time.
What?
Time. The clock's been set.
What clock?
Our clock. Time is ticking even as we speak. Perhaps you're not sufficiently here with us right now. I do not know where you go when you're not here. All I know is if you are not here...
I am here. You have my undivided...
We cannot begin unless you are indisputably...
I'm afraid you caught me. Reading again. It's the only way I can get to sleep. The letters get heavy and they slide down the page like bullets, and I nod off into small visitations. Sometimes I glimpse people I've never seen before. Just a moment ago, I spied a giant, smiling couple drinking Cokes on the TV sky between buildings. The woman spoke to me personally. You'd never do anything to make us ashamed of you, would you? I turned around and an old woman stuck a red clock to my forehead. I turned around to see my ticking reflection in a mirror, and the hotel room turned into a tiny stage. Someone was there asking me questions. I believe it was you. There was an audience present. They were laughing.
Wishful thinking.
Perhaps. I must admit, I have a difficult time looking at them. The naked fact that their stares are nailing us to the floorboards doesn't fill me with dread, far from it. I want to go out there and kiss them all just for being here. Not!
What's your problem?
Oh, I know what they're thinking!
What are they thinking?
When will this be over? I've already said too much.
You've hardly said anything.
Maybe I have left my sleeping body back there, and what you see before you is my second body on an extended leash.
Pull yourself together, will you? The audience is watching us for signs of inauthentic behavior.
What does that mean?
Bad acting.
Maybe it's true. Maybe we are at this very moment addressing an audience of decent, socially and ecologically minded humanitarians of a sort. But, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Are they real, you might ask? Not me. Now, I've been here before, stuck in a dream I couldn't talk my way out of, awake inside it, perfectly lucid, unable to leave. In point of fact, I am sitting in my favorite chair in the living room of a secluded central Pennsylvania farmhouse. I've just dozed off with a book in my lap. I'm dreaming this right now. My wife is sitting opposite me in her favorite chair reading The Phenomenology of Science by Hans Jonas. There are logs burning in the fireplace. Our Weimaraner is sleeping on the Navajo rug next to us. I'm a playwright. Between plays. You know, our two sons are upstairs right now doing whatever it is that teenagers do when they think their parents are watching.
I've got a suggestion.
Yeah?
Suppose you restrict yourself to the situation at hand. That being, we are actors facing an audience that is waiting for a play to begin. Remember, the clock is ticking when the alarm rings.
Alarm? What play?
As if you didn't know. So, if you are truly present, we can begin.
Maybe we've already begun without realizing it.
I doubt that.
Maybe everything starts and ends in the middle. Maybe nothing ever really finishes or ever truly begins. Yeah. You know, I must say, as far as dreams go, this is all very convincing. I mean, it's one of the most lucid dreams I've ever had. Everything's so seductively real. Of course, the bubble may burst when I wake up.
How can you be so sure you haven't already woken up? We are, in point of fact, in the Brick Theater in Williamsburg. Outside, there are real people with real problems dragging up and down Metropolitan Avenue. Take it up a magnification, and there's an entire city beyond that, and the country beyond that, and the earth beyond that, and an entire universe beyond that, and perhaps an infinity of universes beyond that.
Sounds real dreamy. So what's your stake in all this?
I'm an actor. We have a calling.
Who's calling us?
We're professionals, for Christ's sake. We can do this. Finish what we started.
Now, I'm not so sure there's an end to any of it. It's all just wormholes in the fabric, one moment to the next.
People are living real lives out there.
Don't bet on it. What's your real life like?
Acting is my life. It's what I do.
So where do you live?
What?
What street do you live on? Do you live alone? Who's your closest friend? Do you have roaches?
A stranger.
And what's your closest police station? Do you love anybody? Does anybody love you?
I don't.
Remember. That's all right, because you don't have a real life outside this theater, do you? Oh, shh. Here before, trapped inside a world, so many extra dimensions.
I'm feeling a little lightheaded.
Relax. What do you want? You're still acting, aren't you?
Am I?
Of course. Tonight, we improvise!
But what about the audience?
They're still here.
Yes, but
Look at them. I mean, look. Everything in this dream is so true to life. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
Cough. Titter. One of them breaks wind. And every now and then there's a little laugh, a smile, a frown. I mean, what more do you want?
I want them to be real. To have real
Why
lives
can't they just be
outside.
what they are? A memory, a sliver of thought curling inside our minds. Even at the moment of perception, the present is always something of a memory. How else would we recognize it?
But what happens when the alarm goes off? Will you wake up? Will I disappear? What about them? Will they remember us?
Difficult to say.
What about you? Will you remember me, our time together here upon the old boards?
Of course I'll remember you. I'll have a great talk about this with my therapist. He'll ask me, so who's this new friend of yours? How do you feel about being with him on stage in front of an audience? Why do you need this confirmation you actually exist? Of course, he will use this dream as a lever to explore my feelings of not having been born sufficiently, or perhaps explore my fears that I'm already dead.
Of course. It's all about you. It's your dream. But what are the assurances that you'll remember any of this?
Assurances are difficult to come by.
So it could turn out that I never existed.
I'm not a stranger to such thoughts.
You're trying to kill me!
I can see the same thing about you! She's here. Take this. We all need a little something sometime. Go on! Be a man about it.
I'm sorry I tried to strangle you. It's not like me.
It was an exciting moment for everyone, but now it's history. Read this. It'll calm your nerves. It does wonders for me.
You understand, don't you, how the panic can sneak up on you and suddenly, without warning, grab you by the throat?
Yes, I've been in your shoes, or shoes like yours.
One is asleep under a mosquito net. Two enters and notices one. Two smiles at audience, self-consciously. This sounds familiar.
Go on.
Tu's smile wanes. He becomes anxious, uneasy. He goes to the clock and checks the time.
It's time. We know each other, don't we? You're my witnesses. You still feel incredibly real to me. And does that make you feel any better? Perhaps not. Shall I take your silence as a sign? What? One hears voices. They never stop. I created you in my own image. Why do I care if anyone is watching? Why did he care? And where is he now? So far away. Sleep slips us the false feeling that we somehow know death. We don't. I dreamt you up for my own purposes, didn't I? That's why I don't trust you. Who knows what you're thinking right now? I mean, when I look at you, I can't help but feel the weight of the world descending. I can't quite rid myself of you! There, you see? Why can't I dream about something else? Why do you keep coming back like a personal haunting? Suppose there's no other world to return to. What happens to my wife and children who are waiting for me to wake up? Suppose I don't wake up there, but end up here and in your world with you. And my other reality, my real life is over. How can it be over? Forgive me, I know you can't answer. It's not your role. One talks, the other remains silent for eternity. But which one is talking and which one is silent? Afraid, I've become desperate.
Dignity, will you? Play out your part. That's all anybody asks. Play out your part. Pull yourself together.
Excuse me, I know it looks like I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm not really, it's just my face. There. That's better. When the alarm rings, I will not go out screaming. I will not. Still, when the time comes, one never knows whether there will be a scream or not. One thing I do know. I'd stake my life on it. That at some time, at some place, this has happened, and we have formed a bond. Surely I cannot be mistaken about this.